Hello and welcome to the Breakin Broncos. I am your host, Daniel Wetstein. As always, unfortunately, my co-host had a root canal, over the weekend, so he will not be with us. And as we all know, speaking after a root canal, not always the best idea. So we're going to give the man a pass this week. He'll be back with us next week. It's just a 1 week thing. Like I said, just a root canal. No worries. Also, another announcement. We were supposed to debut Sasquatch Says this evening with our new co-host, Callie Agnew. Fortunately, I guess you could say with the situation, her dad was flown to the hospital. He has some heart issues, been dealing with it for a little bit over a year now. But it looks like things are moving forward. As long as a heart becomes available, he will be getting the transplant. So for all of us here in the Tape 42 family, please keep Callie, her dad, and their family in your thoughts and prayers. Let's pray and hope that he does get his heart and that everything goes well and he's able to go on and live a nice, long, and happy life with Callie and all of them. Yes, wishing Dylan a speedy recovery as well as Callie's dad. Thank you, Nika, for showing up as always. Hello, Breakin Broncos. Hello, Tape 42 family. I appreciate y'all coming in as always. Y'all are always amazing. Normally, this is where I give y'all the breakdown of everything that we're going to talk about today. And I did have a lot of things planned. But with my co-host not here and some developments over the last 18 hours on Twitter, I feel like somebody that I considered family has made some serious accusations and allegations against me and have attacked my integrity. And I am going to address every single one of them because I find this absolutely asinine and absolutely uncalled for. And so we're going to break this all down, exactly what's happened, how it's happening, and everything. So here we go. I'm actually going to give you all a little bit bigger. This is what we are speaking of today. This is the first tweet that started everything. Pretty benign. I simply stated, first minority hiring of the offseason. Y'all can consternate all you want. You can claim optics, but it doesn't matter. The 49ers get 2 third-round compensatory picks. Watch for Fangio to possibly follow. At Miami Dolphins fans should be intrigued at least. Did I say that y'all should be placated? Did I say that y'all should be happy? Did I say that y'all should be excited? No, I did not. I said you all should be intrigued and maybe go look at the man's past before you make an asinine, retarded argument like the first tweet here. I'm not going easy. I don't care who this is. I've told y'all a million times. Y'all love my rage nozzle until I point it at you. Say something dumb, do something dumb, I'm going to come at you hard. I don't care who you are. This is a man that just yesterday could have called me. I'd have strapped up. We'd have went riding like we were Batman and Hawkeye in that bank robbery movie with no questions asked. And this is why I made these assumptions, because his first tweet was McDaniel is not a minority. I made these next couple tweets, and I will say I might have went a little bit too far with the light-skinned joke but again, that's simply because I did not think that my dude would not do his research, let alone question mine. You really think that I would have went out here and whitewashed something and called a man a minority because his 8th cousin twice removed on his mama's side? No. All of y'all know me better than that. And I really don't like the questioning of my allegiance to the cause. That's another thing that we are going to discuss. I have sacrificed more than any of you know. I have sacrificed more of my future to fight this fight than any of you probably ever will. And we're going to get into that as well. But here we go. He said McDaniel is not a minority. So again, I made the assumption that this man went researched, saw that the man's dad was black, regardless of whether or not he claims them, and made this ignorant statement. So I brought up the fact, so your children ain't? You saying my children don't get to be considered too? His father is black, so his mom invalidates him. Bree invalidates yours. I invalidate mine. You pretty light-skinned to be claiming biracial is not a minority. Again, I might have went a little bit too far with that because again, it was meant to be a joke, but I obviously struck a nerve here. Because my thing is the whole reason this man claimed that McDaniels was not a minority is because he went to his Wikipedia. And I'm going to show you. I'm not just saying that he went to the Wikipedia. Right here is the proof. The man screenshotted Wikipedia as proof of what? Wikipedia is not allowed to be used as a resource after middle school for a reason. He tried to explain with his whole chest that the Wikipedia has to be right, and this is what he is basing his entire argument on, that he's not a minority, was simply because Mike McDaniel, quote unquote, didn't claim it on his Wikipedia like it's Mike McDaniel going to the Wikipedia and typing these things. Like Mike McDaniel went to Wikipedia and said, I don't know who my father is. Are we serious right now? So this whole argument started because this man didn't do any research and then has the audacity to question my research, to say that I'm playing both sides of the fence, that I'm standing on the fence. Anybody that has ever paid attention to anything I have ever said over the last 2 years knows that I kicked that goddamn fence over a long time ago. There is no fence for me to stand on. I have completely isolated myself in this industry simply because I want to make sure I can fight the fight I want to fight. And for this man to sit here and claim that he didn't make a judgment on McDaniels by the way he looks, please tell me, if Mike McDaniels was a shade and a half, 2 shades darker, would he have even went to Wikipedia? Let alone gave a damn what it quote unquote claimed? Are we seriously going to attack somebody based off of what Wikipedia says? This is what you call research. Google and Wikipedia, and then have the balls to question mine. This is what I do. Me and you, we're not the same, homie. Like I said, I don't go easy. You want to question my integrity? You want to question my allegiance to the cause? Are you serious? What have you sacrificed? Please tell me. Name one thing in your entire life that you have sacrificed for the cause. I sacrificed my future with any major cable network, probably podcast network, etc. I did that willingly and knowingly what I was doing. I have been told on many occasions by people in the industry, actual real journalists, that I belong, but because of how I fight, how I do things, that I can't go to those places, that I've burned those bridges, and I do it happily because I know what I'm fighting for. You don't get to question me. No one gets to question me when it comes to these things. I am beyond livid, and I will admit, yes, I'm a little hurt. Because again, this is supposed to be my dog. Really, bro? Because I said one thing you don't like, one thing that doesn't jive with you, you're willing to question my integrity. That you're going to put up Wikipedia and then immediately question whether I'm doing my research. How dare you? Like I said, I got all you want from 2 to 3 p.m., homie. We doing this. Do not ever come at me like this ever again. Don't you ever question whether or not I'm for the cause, whether or not I'm on the fence or off the fence. Homie, I play what is objectively true. Like I said, I don't put myself on a pedestal. I hold myself to a standard, and it's a damn high one, obviously higher than yours. I will not stand by anyone. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your relationship to me. I don't care what your relationship is not to me. You never get to question me on this. You never get to make these allegations. Never again in your life, homie, do you ever get to question me like this. That's what this is about. This is me showing you how ridiculous you were for this. I don't have to believe the man simply because he's black. And it's quite messed up that you're going to take the side of a man that doesn't give a damn about you. And again, attack the man that would have been right by your side at any moment for anything. You went from being one of my biggest supporters to this simply because I said one thing you didn't like. Because I wouldn't be your echo chamber. You want to claim that you don't need an echo chamber. I have yet to see you give any credence to any factual evidence that opposes your views. I do it every day. You say, oh, I can admit when my Dolphins are racist. So what? I'm not saying these things about the Flores allegations against the Broncos because it's the Broncos. I'm saying it because they seem frivolous. And I understand that your whole juxtaposition is the retarded argument that he is building a pattern. Why does he need the Broncos to build a pattern? Again, I'll ask you again. What evidence, homie? You keep telling me that he has all this evidence. Where is it? And don't give me the runaround about, oh, the NFL's racist. You know it's racist. That's not what we're talking about. I have never questioned whether or not the NFL has both implicit and explicit bias. I have never, ever went and apologized for the NFL, the Broncos, or Elway for anything, let alone their racist practices, both implicit and explicit. I asked you again in here, I asked you to show me where McDaniels said himself, not Wikipedia. And again, you just throw out Wikipedia. You have done absolutely no research. So if you're going to question me after I've actually done research, I've actually looked into these things, and then you're only going to throw out Wikipedia and then again have the gall to attack me and say that I have integrity issues and make all these allegations and false accusations based on you cutting up my shit and Frankensteining it together so it fits your narrative, because you know damn well if you actually quoted me, it wouldn't work for you. So you know you have to cut it up, just like any and everybody else that does this. I have literally had you sit in my face and tell me how if there's one thing that nobody can question about me, it's my research. And then again, I say one thing you don't know, and immediately you're questioning my research. You're questioning my integrity. And doing it in public. On my page, trying to tell me to shut up, essentially. There's multiple times in here where you have essentially told me to shut up and I'm talking out my ass. Really, homie? I'm not the one quoting Wikipedia. So I don't want to just make this about Sam, because it's not just about him, because there's other people in here too that do this. It's just he is the most recent example, and it's the easiest one for me to pull up. And it's just funny to me that, again, here we have somebody else that jumped in, third party. And look at my reply to him. He was attacking Sam. He was on my side. And I still told the man he was wrong. How do you question my integrity when the guy attacks you is on my side, and I still tell the guy that's on my side he's wrong? Please explain that to me. And then your first response, after I tell him he's wrong, and after I defend the fact that all of the other allegations are pretty strong, your response is, of course you would think it's frivolous because it's the Broncos. Really? And I'm being emotional? I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, this has been a pattern with people in my life. And it's why it's got me so heated. Is that they really enjoy when I rip everybody else. But the moment I say something they don't like, all of a sudden they have to question everything about me. Up until that point, they will have my back. They will tell everybody how smart and great and all these things I am. But the moment I say something they don't agree with, I'm an asshole, I'm lying, I'm making junk up, I'm a know-it-all, all of these things. Isn't it kind of interesting how that pattern works? But yet I'm the person with no integrity. I'm the asshole. I'm the person that doesn't care about anybody or anything. I'm just the know-it-all that wants to make people believe that I'm smart. No, homie, I have never once been out here saying, oh, I'm so intelligent, I'm so smart, I know I don't. I question everything. If I knew everything, or if I even thought that I knew everything, would I ever ask a question? Do you realize how stupid it is to say that somebody is this when that they are know-it-all when they literally ask questions all the time? If I was a know-it-all, I would make nothing but statements. I'm so sick of people trying to put me into a box. Get over yourself. You don't get to box me in. There's a reason why I say it's on my website, it's everywhere else. I don't like boxes. I bust out of them damn things every time you try to put me in one. It doesn't work. I don't have a tribe. That is what is wrong with this world. Is everybody has their tribes, and Lord forbid if you ever say the other tribe has a point. How dare you ever question anybody in your tribe, because then you're disloyal. Everything here is everything that he said he's fighting against. I don't want this to be the end of anything. I just needed to make sure that my side is put out there in every way and in a way that nobody can twist it. This is videographic evidence. Everything is here. You can try and cut it up and make it any way you want. But again, you're just going to prove my point that you don't have anything to back up anything you have to say on these subjects. You have nothing to back up the Broncos allegations with evidence. All you have is what you are in your fifis about. All you have is a feeling. Even Flores, in every other instance, when he is asked about any of the allegations when it comes to the Dolphins, NFL, Giants, etc., he has specific evidence. He has text messages. He has witnesses that he's saying will have a deposition done. And when it comes to the Dolphins and the NFL, he has other coaches corroborating things. But again, you don't have a single shred of evidence, neither does Brian, that the Broncos allegations are true. It might feel true, but our feelings don't matter. You have a bachelor's. You are simply law school and a bar exam away from getting to being a lawyer, and yet you are sitting here arguing semantics that you claim I use all the time and conflating things in a way that don't make any sense. What do the NFL and other allegations and the evidence that they have for those allegations have anything to do with the Broncos allegations? I know you have the retarded, rhetorical, stupid argument that he's proving a pattern. Again, why does he need to prove a pattern if what you say is true, that the NFL is definitely racist and everybody can see it? If everybody can already see it, if everybody already knows it, why do you need to prove it? And again, why would you add allegations that are almost impossible to prove? Unless either he or the Broncos videotaped that interview, which would be an extremely weird thing to do. There's no evidence. There's no way for this man to prove it, regardless if it's true or not. That is my point. I am not saying he's lying. I have never said he's lying. I have said that they look frivolous and unnecessary because they are so hard to prove. Jet lag after flying from Denver to New England, losing 2 time zones overnight, is indecipherable from a hangover. Literally every symptom of jet lag is the same as a hangover. So again, I am not saying that the Broncos weren't disheveled or weren't interested. I don't know. None of us know. You don't know. I don't know. Period. We weren't there. And the only person in the room that was not Broncos brass is Brian Flores, which means he said, hearsay. When has hearsay ever been allowed in a courtroom? It hasn't. So, with that being said, I am going to look through the. Let's see, I have several comments here. I saw the tweets, totally crazy. Thank you. Again, I'm not the only one. It seemed like very, very personal. Thank you. That's exactly why I got to the level of vitriol that I did today. And thank you. Again, I don't say these things to one up people. It's to fight narratives. I'm constantly attacked. I swear I get attacked. If I say anything about the right, I get attacked by the left. If I say anything about the left, I get attacked by the right, and vice versa. I can't win with y'all. Again, I am not part of your tribe. I am not part of any tribe other than humanity's. I don't give a damn about your personal feelings. I have said it a million times. I don't care about your fifis. Get over yourself. You are not the most important thing in the world, and you don't get to act like your opinion is the only one that matters. And if I disagree with it, I'm immediately wrong. That's not how this works. And that's what I'm saying. If he isn't a minority, what is he? And again, if the man was 2 shades darker, you cannot tell me that he even went to Wikipedia, let alone quoted it with his whole chest. And as the king of research, I appreciate it. Again, I don't want this to seem like I'm tooting my own horn. It's just that is one thing that I pride myself on. It's why I said in one of the tweets to him is I say don't question the blue, and I've explained this multiple times. I don't say that because I know everything. I say it because you don't have to question my integrity or my airtight research. I am never going to speak on something if I haven't done the proper research. And again, Google and Wikipedia are not research. That's an echo chamber. Says every professor, again, or teacher past 8th grade. If I used Wikipedia in any of my classes, even in Colorado Media School, that was a trade school, did not accept Wikipedia as a resource. Why are we using it as grown people to try and prove a point? Yeah, and that's another thing. Is like, is that not an antithesis to what you say you're trying to do? You say you want equality, but yet you trash every white person that has an opposing view from you and put every black person on a pedestal, and they have to be 100% correct, and you must agree with them because there's no way that person is lying. Did anybody have that same energy with Jussie Smollett? Like, are we forgetting that, yes, some people make emotional, stupid decisions when they think they're doing something right? Like, I don't think that Jussie Smollett really went into that with nefariously. I really think that he wanted to try and push the narrative forward. He just did it in a really stupid way. Thank you. I'm glad somebody else sees it. I don't own the Broncos. I am not defending the Broncos. I am simply poking holes in a very hard to prove allegation. That is all that I am doing. I have never said any of these things that he claims. Like, y'all can see in those tweets where he claims that I make all these defenses and the two-side arguments for the NFL. I have never once done any of these things. And I don't understand how come y'all couldn't take it off of social media and just talk it out on a phone call, but it got to this. Exactly. I mean, I wasn't trying to get to this point, but again, all y'all know, I don't back down from anybody. You are never going to get me to back down against anybody or on anything. So I don't know if maybe he thought eventually I would. No. And on top of that, he was on my page. He came to me. I didn't call him out. I didn't tag him in anything. I simply said Dolphins fans should be intrigued, at least. That's literally it. I don't know. But yes, Burr Gang, appreciate you, brother. Burr Gang Sports Media Network. Make sure y'all go down into the description, click on all the links, like, subscribe, all those great things. Anton's Ricardo, appreciate you. I am on one today. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's why I love you, Randall. That's my dog. Yes, they cannot hold us down ever. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I tell people, it's like, I tell them constantly, like, I'm sure people are tired of hearing me say this, but I tell them all the time, check my receipts. I tweet, I do the things I do so that people can bring them up. So that's where I differ from a lot of people. And I get it. This isn't her job. Okay. This isn't what she do. So she shouldn't have to tweet, but this is what I do. It is my job to take stories and break them down and ask the questions that nobody else is asking. That's my strength. I am the best person I have met at asking questions nobody else has asked, of being able to break down a complicated issue, make it much more digestible, and then regurgitate it with questions that are relevant. And again, nobody else is asking. Most of the time it's because I'm the only one with enough balls to ask those questions. Because again, I am building something outside of the norm. Again, I have sacrificed really any chance outside of a miracle happening and me getting on at some crazy new network that's, trying to do these things. But real quick, I want to check my Twitch. I do got a couple people. I appreciate y'all. I'm doing this because I can't on StreamYard for whatever reason see whoever is there on Twitch. But A Service Stop, appreciate you. And Fanatic. I'm sorry. I'm bad at these Twitch names. Y'all have some great ones. Maybe you can tell me how to say it later. But both of y'all, I appreciate y'all. Twitch is awesome. But yeah, I mean, I really don't know what else to say on this. I really kind of said what I needed to say. I'm open. I'm here. Again, this ain't keyboard courage. You know this, homie. You want to talk about it? I'm open, homie. Like I said, I don't want this to be the end of anything, but I can't let allegations like this slide. I can't allow anybody to go out here and try and question my integrity and my research and what I pride myself on. And one more allegation. The fact that you want to say that I add things to what I say and that I'm not a wordsmith, homie, I am a wordsmith. If you can't accept that, I am a master of words. Just look in the freaking thread that you were in, dude. I fleeced you and I finessed you in so many ways. And then afterwards, again, you have the audacity to say I ain't. Really? I'll just leave it at that. Really? Come on now. This is what I do, bro. You don't get to question any of these things. Just because I said something that hurt your feelings or whatever. Again, if the light-skinned joke hit a chord, my bad. That wasn't the intention. Again, I'm sorry that I had more faith in you than I obviously should have. I guess it's the best way that I can put that. Thank you, brother. Thank you. And hey, same to you, my guy. That's why we in this together, my man. I'm right here with you. We're going to ride this thing right on up to the top. That's my dog. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is why I can do these things. It's like, y'all keep, like, I try to really hit this home with y'all. Like, stop looking at my follower count. That's going to grow. I have absolutely no doubt. Especially after, like I told y'all last week, and especially after I got to go back and look at the numbers that added the last week's, the last one of January. Y'all, again, are absolutely epic. I love y'all with everything in me. My Tay 42 family, the ones, the unshakables, the foundations, I love y'all and I thank y'all so much because y'all just done killed everything. Again, January is by far, like, it's not even close. Like, in the graph, like, here's every other month and then here's January when it comes to viewership, engagement, etc. Like it blows me away how much y'all have really shown love in a month that there was no football for the Broncos. Again, so yes, I am a numbers man. I am a research man. I am all about making sure you know what the hell you're talking about before you talk about it. Not just running around making emotional statements and just popping off at the mouth. Because number one, I ain't getting sued. Okay, in case y'all don't realize, this is a public entity, which means if I say something crazy or if I have somebody say something crazy under my name, I can be sued. I will not allow that. I have no problem with you saying some crazy junk as long as it's true, as long as it's fully researched, fully vetted, and you can stand behind it. I will stand behind you. But if you're just going to go out here popping off emotionally with Wikipedia resources and whatever, like I can't do that. Never make it in New Orleans with light-skinned jokes. I like it. I like it, Nika. I think I can agree. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it was really meant to be a joke because at that moment, I did not realize that my homie was basing his damn statement off of Wikipedia. I really thought that he had went and found out the man had a black dad and then still made the statement. Like, that's why I responded the way that I did. But then if y'all, again, go read the tweets, y'all can see how the narrative changed once I realized. And I was like, okay, my dog just popping off at the mouth. I needs to reel him in. Like, that's all I was trying to do. And like, he just took it all personal, and just all the way down the line. Yes, all your sports therapy needs. I like it. I'm down with it. I'm just double checking, make sure nobody else new came up on Twitch. Because again, the only way I can check it is on my phone or either on here, but it's easier on the phone. So I'm just making sure I give love to everybody that deserves it. But yeah, I mean, I think we're 34 minutes in. I spent half the show on that. So you know what? Let's go ahead and let's talk some Broncos. I'm done with that. I've said what I needed to say. And like I said, my phone's open. It's right here, homie. Twitter, whatever you want to do. I'm right here. Again, I'm not backing down. I told you I had all you needed, and that will never change. So come at me. So we've already went over the Brian Flores. Let's go ahead. I like this topic. Top 4 QBs Broncos should stay away from this offseason, and why I agree or disagree. So the top 4 QBs that I believe should be avoided at all costs. Number 1, Jimmy Garoppolo, the white version of Teddy Bridgewater. Just putting it out there. The man, as long as he has an absolutely stacked roster, he can take you to the playoffs. But he's not going to win you the Super Bowl. He's just proven that. Between losing the Super Bowl, literally, and then not making it out of the NFC Championship game this year, I mean, you see what his ceiling is. He is a middle-tier quarterback that's going to win you some games, but he's also going to lose you some games. Honestly, Jimmy is probably, if he was put in the right role, he'd be one of the best backups in the league. But unfortunately, he's gotten paid too much money, and he's won too many games. There's going to be a team out there that believes that they can do more with him than what Kyle Shanahan does. I just pray it's not the Broncos. Number 2, Kirk Cousins. We've had this discussion on multiple occasions. The man is the ultimate garbage time quarterback. He is the upgraded version of Blake Bortles. He's a man that has padded his stats throughout his career in junk time when defenses are running prevent and just really trying to run out the clock and not actually stop him or the offense. And the man he's only won one Monday night game and never a playoff game. I am not having my franchise quarterback be a guy that can't win on Monday night. Like, if you can't win on Monday night or Sunday night, how are you ever going to win on Super Bowl Sunday? No interest whatsoever. Mitch Trubisky, the man with all the talent to tantalize, but never can put it together on the field. Mitch Trubisky's essentially a more athletic, less accurate version of Drew Lock. And that's, I mean, Drew Lock's not the most accurate quarterback in the world. So that should tell you just how inaccurate Mitch Trubisky is. Yes, he has won games. Yes, he brought the Bears and an okay roster to the playoffs. But again, he has serious limitations and his field processing is abysmal. You can't have a franchise quarterback that can't read the field. Period. So again, I'll pass. By no. The fourth one might surprise some people because I did, opine for this man to get the job that he had until he was injured, and that is Jameis Winston, and me opining for him to get the starting gig in New Orleans. But that was because that was their best option. I mean, honestly, can anybody say that Taysom Hill is a viable starting quarterback? I can't. I haven't seen a single thing. I think he's a great football player, and I love the way that Taysom Hill plays the game and the way that the Saints have used him, but he is not a starting quarterback, people. He is Tim Tebow 2.0. The man can't hit the broadside of a barn. He is the right-handed version of Tim Tebow, just without the insufferable off-field stuff. So, Jameis Winston, again, I like the potential, but I am not sure he would fit this offense well. He is a big-armed guy, but he's never really been that great on play action. He's more of a mad bomber. He's just a guy with a big arm that just likes to chuck it. He's not the most accurate. And this year, I mean, he did rein back some of the gunslinger ways. He was much better at holding onto the ball up until he got injured. But I'm just afraid those things are going to resurface. The whole trope of a tiger doesn't change its stripes, a leopard doesn't change its spots. He worries me, and I think it would be better for the Broncos to either make a trade, Wilson, Rodgers, etc., or if they can't do that, bypass every other free agent, go straight to the draft, and just pick the best quarterback you like. No, is there a Andrew Luck or a Joe Burrow or somebody like that that's just the unquestioned number one best player has to go number one overall? No, there's not. We've talked about this at length multiple times. There is not a quarterback that you just look at in this draft and like, he's going to change a franchise. But there are some intriguing guys like Malik Willis of Liberty, Carson Strong of Nevada, and Matt Corral of Ole Miss. All three of those guys have to intrigue you. I'm not saying that they're going to blow you away. Like Corral's arm strength is pretty impressive. I mean, that's just saying the least. Matt Corral has a howitzer for an arm. Malik Willis, he's a true dual threat. He reminds me of Lamar Jackson, but is a much more polished passer than Lamar Jackson was coming out of college. And then you have Carson Strong, who's kind of a mixture of the two. He's not as athletic as Malik Willis, but he doesn't have as strong of an arm as Matt Corral, but he's more of in the middle. He's got a above average arm and above average athleticism. He's not elite in anything, but he's just good at everything, which, again, I'm not saying that I'm comparing Strong to this man, but his game reminds me of Drew Brees coming out of college. Again, I'm not saying that he has the same level of talent, nor the same level of accuracy, etc. I'm just saying he's intriguing to the point, because again, Drew Brees, a lot of people forget, was a second-round pick because of the warts he had coming out of college. Again, Carson Strong reminds me a lot. And also, Drew Brees came out, had some injury issues at Purdue, et cetera, a lot with Carson Strong. A lot of the reasons why he's dropped down boards is his knee injury that he had that sapped some of his athleticism and things of that nature. So it's dropped him. But again, these are guys that should intrigue you at the right spot. Now, I'm not saying the Broncos should go out and trade for the number one overall pick and give away a bunch of first and second rounders, but say they fall in love with one of these guys and they see him drop to number 6. I don't have a problem with them moving up 3 spots if they really fell in love with it, because it doesn't matter what any of us think about the quarterback. If George Payton falls in love with a quarterback, you got to go get the guy. Now, again, this is not me saying that he has fallen in love with anybody. As far as all the reports go, is he's still doing his due diligence, and there's no real leader in the room when it comes, and it shouldn't. We still have to wait for the combine to come, pro days to come, all of those things before any final decisions need to be made. The draft isn't until May, and we're not even to the Super Bowl yet, people. That's this Sunday. So let's see what's going on here. I see. I'm glad that you addressed it because people try to question you when they secretly want to be you. Keep doing research and keep up. I appreciate that, Nika. I appreciate that. I tell Dan I want to be him all the time until I see what it takes to be him. Then I just appreciate being myself way more. Just not willing to put in all that work every day. I appreciate it, babe. I appreciate the acknowledgement and the love. Yes, Hill is not a quarterback. I mean, he is a football player. That's why I don't call Taysom Hill a quarterback. He's not a quarterback. He is, in all respects, simply a good football player. You can literally put him anywhere on the field, and the man makes plays. And that's where he needs to be at and put, because that's what he does. He's what Tebow could have been if Tebow didn't have so much pride and say that he would never do anything other than play quarterback. And I appreciate you, Miss Bergang, as always. Appreciate the love. Again, make sure you like and subscribe there. Like and subscribe there as well. I did not like Jameis Winston from his tally days at FSU. I think he's not the QB people hype him up to be. I definitely think, I mean, that's the infuriating thing about Jameis, is that he has all the tools to be an exceptional quarterback. He has the arm strength, all of those things. It's just, he also has that arm arrogance, as I call it. To make that make sense, what I mean is that he has never seen a window he doesn't like to throw into. And that's his biggest bugaboo, is that he trusts his arm to a fault. Is that if he was, and he showed, like I said, he showed some regression in that in New Orleans this year. He did a much better job of holding onto the ball. Sean Payton and company were able to rein him back. But again, that was Sean Payton and company. I don't know if some new coach is going to be able to come in without that type of clout and be able to humble Jameis. Because I do believe that is what Sean Payton did. He's like, hey, bro, I got a Super Bowl. I done coached Drew Brees into the Hall of Fame after he tore his shoulder to pieces. Like, you don't get to question what I do. Okay? So I think that had a lot to do with it. And yes, I agree. I've said it a million times. Drew Brees is one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. So again, call me a Broncos homer. Tell me that all I do is defend the Broncos. So, just real quick, make sure I'm not missing anybody else over here. Nope, nobody new on Twitch, but that's all right. I appreciate all y'all that are still there. Keep them coming. Keep the views coming. We love them. See what we all got going here. Yeah, we got them all. We got them from all over the place. We got them from BGSN. We got them Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all the good stuff. I appreciate y'all. Again, make sure you like, subscribe. I see less likes than I see people in my room. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe. All those good things. Turn on your notifications. Share everything. Again, it's free for you, but it's priceless for us. So what do you think the Saints is going to pick as their next head coach? Well, with the pattern it's going, ever since the Brian Flores lawsuit, you've got a minority coach hiring in Miami. You have a minority coach hiring in Lovie Smith in Houston. So my guess is another minority hiring. I really haven't looked to see. I'll look it up right now just so I can give y'all an answer. Y'all ask the question, I'll look it up. Let's see who their candidates are. I know Brian Flores was one of them. At least he was. We'll see how that goes. It looks like Eric Bieniemy is one of them. So, yeah. And a lot of people have been talking about Eric Bieniemy. So, my guess is they hire Eric Bieniemy or Byron Leftwich if they give him an interview. I'm looking to see if they do. Say 3 candidates for the head coaching vacancy. Sorry, reading through to see if I can get the names. All right, so he has interviewed Doug Peterson, who was hired by the Jaguars, so he can't be it. Brian Flores, a black candidate. Aaron Glenn of the Detroit Lions, and now Eric Bieniemy. So the 3 remaining candidates are all black. What did I say before I ever looked it up? Yet I don't do my research, right? So, y'all New Orleans fans, looks like you're going to get a black coach. And out of those candidates, I am going to assume they take Eric Bieniemy. Honestly, he's the most qualified. Live research. See what I do, people? Question me again. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Some people, I tell you what. I've already told you what. That's what. I spent the first 30 minutes telling y'all what. Sorry, I need a drink. I've talked too much. Okay. Oh, we still got 12 minutes left here. See what else we can get into. Okay, this will be fun. My top 3 holes in the Broncos roster outside of QB. So, number 1, middle linebacker. I put middle linebacker here simply for the fact of how many Broncos linebackers are free agents. And that's all but 2. The only 2 players left under contract are Baron Browning, who just finished his rookie season, and Justin Stranad, who is going into his 3rd year, but only his 2nd year healthy because he missed his entire rookie year due to a knee injury. So that's why middle linebacker is that high. I do love what Baron Browning brings. I believe he deserves to be a starting linebacker in this defense next year. His athleticism is just, it's amazing to watch him out there on the field. If y'all have never went, just go to YouTube, look up Baron Browning, spelled just like it sounds, and just look at what that man does on a field. It's absolutely insane how much ground that behemoth of a human can cover. Because he's not small. Like, he's a little undersized for a middle linebacker, but he's still like 220 pounds and over 6'2" or 6'3". So the fact that he can still get that big body moving around at the speed that he does is insane. So the Broncos obviously need to go out and either re-sign. If they're going to re-sign anybody, it needs to either be Jonas Griffith or Kenny Young or both. I, again, don't like them throwing a lot of money at Alexander Johnson and Josie Jewell. I know a lot of people want to talk about Josie Jewell through 3 weeks, was rated number 1. Okay, who was he playing? Can we remember who the first 3 weeks of the season were? The Jaguars, the Giants, and the Jets. There's a reason he was being ranked so high. It wasn't because he had suddenly became more athletic and could cover better. It was for the fact that he was playing really bad teams that had nobody that could exploit Josie Jewell's weaknesses. That's the only reason why. And he got hurt after week 3, so you never got to see the market correction that would have happened when he went and played better teams like the Ravens, where he'd had to chase around Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews, etc. So don't come at me with, oh, for 3 games. Who cares? Who cares that he played well against 3 of the worst teams in the league? Why does that matter? What about the other 2 years where he was just middle of the pack? This goes back to when I was talking about Garrett Bowles and him getting his big contract after 1 year of doing something great. And he actually played the whole season, not just 3 games. And I still was like, this is dumb. Don't give this man a contract because he had 1 good year, let alone say give a man a contract because he had 3 good games. Like, this, let's just stop that. It's a dumb argument. Stop making it. Next up is pass rusher. This is huge because Bradley Chubb can't seem to stay healthy, and the rest of the Broncos pass rushers, max the leading rusher was again Malik Reed and Shelby Harris, who tied at 5.5 sacks. That was the team lead this year. That's abysmal, y'all. That cannot be repeated and have a successful season. Period. In this day and age, it is coverage and pass rush. Those are the two main things. The Broncos already have a pretty well solid secondary that can handle the coverage. Again, Baron Browning in the middle of the defense, taking on linebackers, or not linebackers, sorry, running backs and tight ends and things of that nature. So the coverage angle looks good. The pass rush, not so much. I don't like the Broncos going into free agency for this one, though. For middle linebackers, maybe. You know, again, if you're going to re-sign one of the guys like Jonas Griffith or Kenny Young, I'm good with it. I don't want them going out and grabbing one of these aging veterans. No. This draft is rife with defensive talent, specifically. There are so many pass rushers, so many run stoppers, so many linebackers that have come out early because, as we spoke of earlier, there's not the quarterbacks to knock them down the board. A lot of these guys on the defensive side are coming out this year because they know they'll get drafted higher because people think less of these quarterbacks. So that's why in these instances it's best to fill whatever holes you absolutely need to fill in free agency, but then go and get best player available in the draft. Again, I'm not mad if they go up 3 spots and grab a QB because they fell in love with him, but I would really like to see them concentrate on the defensive side of the ball and offensive line, which reports are that, and again, this is why I bring it up, O-line is my third most needed area. And the thing I love about it is coming out of the Senior Bowl, it seems like George Paton company have put an emphasis on this O-line. And this is a big deal because of the new offense that's coming in. The previous offense was a power run scheme. What that means is you get big uglies that are just huge and fat and out there to maul people. Okay? They're just there to literally power through the defense. Hence, power run scheme. This new offense is an outside zone running scheme with the West Coast flavor. What that means is you need smaller, more nimble offensive linemen that can move laterally. You're not in this offense, everything looks the same because even when you're run blocking, the blockers don't go straight ahead. That's the number one key for any defender is if the offensive lineman moves forward, it has to be a run. By rule, if you are moving forward as an offensive lineman, it has to be a run. Because in a pass, if an offensive lineman moves past the line of scrimmage, it is an illegal man downfield. In a pass rush, that's why I, as a football player, hated offensive line was because of run blocking. I'm that guy. I want to smash you in the mouth. I want to go forward and I want to hit you in your mouth again and again and again. That's all I want to do. The last thing I want to do is pedal backwards while allowing you to go the direction you want to go, but just steering you away from my quarterback. That's why I hated offensive line and I always prefer defense, because with defense, you're always going forward. Never go backwards unless you're in coverage. And again, I am not a cornerback or a safety, even though I did play safety in some red zone and goal line situations, which was funny to see a 325-pound kid back at safety waiting to lurk and smack the hell out of somebody. It really messed with the other kids on the other side, though. It was quite fun to sit over there on the other side, back in coverage, and then blitz right up the middle, getting a full head of steam again at 325 pounds against a bunch of other high schoolers that were nowhere near as big as me. So it was kind of unfair, but hey, it was fun for me. But yes, so that's why it is. Let's see, what do Dan is just gonna toot his own horn and well deserved. Hey, I got to do it because ain't nobody else going to do it for me. What can I say? Try to tell people that you will answer questions about other teams, not just. I try to tell people. I mean, I know I'm doing the Breaking Broncos. That's what I do because that's the team I grew up with. But this is just the beginning, people. If y'all have not noticed, this is just the beginning. This is not the end all be all. This is not the only podcast I have. This is not the only avenue that I have. And it's not the only team that I can speak on. I love football. That's just plain and simple. I'm a football fan first. I watch all the games. I look up all the rosters. I pay attention to all the trades, all the transactions. I do have a bit of a specialty with the Broncos because, again, that's my team. It's a team I've rooted for my entire life. But, again, stop trying to put me in boxes. How many times I got to tell you people? But, yeah, so there it is. Again, 4 quarterbacks to stay away from, 3 major roster holes. Again, next week, I will have Dylan back with me. I will keep y'all updated on the Callie situation. Again, no live tonight because I just don't. I could do it. Like she's even like, you can do it, but I don't want to do it without her because unlike a show like this, I'm just going to admit this to y'all because this is how real and raw that I am. Y'all can keep trying to question whether I got motives or not. I cannot carry a hockey podcast the way that I can carry a Broncos or football or baseball. I am a hockey fan. I am not a hockey expert. I am doing Sasquatch Says as a love project. And Callie, that's my expert. She is the most knowledgeable hockey fan I've ever met, period. So she is going to be the expert. And if I don't have an expert, why am I doing a show? So I hope y'all understand that, but I will keep y'all updated. And as soon as we have a new debut date, I will get it to y'all. We will get it set up. So again, appreciate all the Twitch viewers, all the Facebooks and YouTubes. All y'all are absolutely epic. Again, thank you all so much. Let's keep this going. Let's keep making this legendary content. Let's keep growing this network. And let's show everybody what real, honest journalism is and what it looks like. And let's get away from this emotional, tribal BS that's allowed even people in their own family to question them. So, for the Breakin' Broncos podcast, Gang Sports Media Network, the Answers 42 Media Network, I am Dan Wetstein, and don't question the blue.